and welcome to the Tuesday night music show. We got rid of all the fat tonight, and we just got the good stuff. Except Eric, we got him still.
I'm still fat too.
He's still
got
fat.
Superstar DJ Brian K is here with us, as is Damon. And myself, I'm Brian. I got a question for you guys. Weird question. How many of you have cable TV?
Hello.
Brian's got cable. You got cable, Eric?
Yes.
I got
You don't have cable. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I cut the cord. I don't have cable anymore.
Mm-hmm. I remember
That happened, I think, back in May. And I find myself watching less TV because, it's all streaming now. And it kind of got me thinking about, and I couldn't even put my finger on it, like the shared experience, I was watching Rick Beato. You guys know Rick Beato?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's the guy who does all the shows on music interviews with different artists and such. He had a guy on there named Jim Barber. And there was another guy he was talking to. I can't remember his name, but he mentioned something that was very interesting. It's called monoculture. You ever heard of it? It's the idea that we all share collectively and experience together. So we're all old here. Let's talk about the 1970s. So back in the 1970s, we had 3 TV channels, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And everybody listened to the same radio stations. There was the rock station, the pop station, and the country station, and that was about it.
Yeah, you had your favorite, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and whatever you were into, you listened to.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody was kind of seeing the same stuff on TV. Everybody was kind of hearing the same songs. Collectively, we were all listening to the same stuff and hearing the same stuff. And even if there was if you're not into country, which I'm not, if there was a huge country song, you knew it because we all were listening to the same stuff in the monoculture. We all knew who Roy Clark was because of Hee Haw, right? We all knew who Dolly Parton was.
Because of 2 reasons we can't bring up.
Right. Well, yeah. But again, it was monoculture. We were all experiencing the same thing at the same time. So we had these things to talk about and discuss. Hey, did you hear that song? Oh, yeah, I heard that song on the radio last night.
Yeah.
Fast forward to the 1980s. Okay, so we got cable. Maybe we got 30 channels. But everybody's watching MTV, and you still got the same thing going on with radio, right?
Yep.
Right.
So it's still kind of that monoculture thing. We're all experiencing the same thing at the same time. Fast forward, and we're losing the monoculture. Today, we're all streaming stuff. Everybody is watching what they want to watch when they want to watch it. They're doing their own programming. And even if, you guys have cable, I mean, what are you watching on that? Everybody's watching something different. There's hundreds of channels. So we no longer have the monoculture experience. And it got me thinking about us as DJs and how we are one of the last entities out there that, even if it's for a couple of hours, we take a group of people and we almost force them to be a part of this little monoculture just for a few hours. Because what are they doing otherwise? They're streaming tracks on Spotify, a playlist they make. They're not listening to the same songs at the same time. They're listening to what they want to listen to when they want to listen to it. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Does that make sense to you guys?
It does.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I love to turn on the TV and let some channel decide what we all watch at the same time, and we all watch it together and we experience it together, even if we're not in the same room together. it's nice that we all experience it together and we can talk about it. The same thing with music. Even XM, several hundred channels there.
Yeah.
And of course, Spotify, that's all over the place. But I don't know, it's something I was thinking about. What are your thoughts on that? Anybody got thoughts on that?
I know when I do, well, like proms, especially, you got the younger crowd that wants to hear the music, and it's like you got 200 kids there. All 200 want to hear a different song.
Right.
And it's hard to please 200 kids at once.
Yeah.
You can't.
It definitely is.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, I don't think that was such a problem. Even going back 10 years ago, I don't think that was such a problem. They all kind of wanted the same thing, didn't they?
There was no TikTok 10 years ago.
Right. They were all asking for the same hip hop songs or the same EDM tracks or whatever they were asking for. They all collectively wanted to be cool and hear the cool track, whatever the cool track happened to be. But what is the cool track now? That's hard to say because everybody's listening to something different, like you say.
I don't think there is a cool track today, but
That's true.
but like when you cut cable, Brian, I think I wanted to follow your footsteps doing that because cable is expensive.
It is.
I don't need to say who my cable provider is, and I won't for
It's one of two.
whatever.
It's fine.
Them up. But yeah, every time I try to cut it, they'll give me a better deal, And I'm like, okay, so here's another 100 channels that I'm never gonna watch.
Right.
And they give me the phone, the house phone, which I haven't even plugged the damn thing in.
Oh, all that is an avenue for telemarketers to get a hold of you.
But I've never plugged the damn phone in to the.
Yeah, we had this deal with, it was the bundle.
Yep.
You get internet, you get cable TV, and you get phone.
Yeah.
Price. And if you didn't get phone, it cost you $30 more.
Right.
Because the discount was so deep. So you got the phone line that you never used and you never plugged the phone into.
I'm afraid to plug the phone in. There's
I
probably
don't even know what the number is.
There's probably 1,000 voicemails on there that I don't plug it in. I'm like, it's there, whatever, In fact, they're probably getting a voicemail saying the user never set up a voicemail.
Well, the weird thing about it is, companies make money by selling phone numbers to telemarketing firms. So them giving you a phone number is just them collecting more information on you to bundle and sell to somebody. So it's in their best interest.
Money on me.
And if you wanted an unlisted number, it's this huge price because they want to be able to sell your information. That's why they want you to have the phone. It's ridiculous.
Number right now, you guys want it because call it. I don't.
I tell you what happened when I went into the cable company it was funny because we were paying it's over $300.
Oh, wow. It's crazy. Yes.
Yeah, and it was like because we had to have boxes for this and we had multiple TVs and stuff. And we like to watch movies, so we had movie channels. It's like, this is getting, to be much, really we just want the basic stuff. We've decided we want the basic stuff because we can stream movies. We want to watch a movie, we can download the HBO Max or the Paramount or whatever. We don't really need to watch these movies on HBO Live kind of thing. So let's get rid of that. What do you got? And they didn't really have anything. Like, well, do you got something else? And the lady looked right at me and says, well, do you want to just get rid of cable? She wasn't even trying anymore. Like, yeah, sure. What's that look like? Says, well, we got this internet plan. It's a lot faster than what you got, and it's got a new router on it and all that, and it's $84. Like, okay, yeah, right. What about after all the hidden fees and taxes and all that stuff? Just no, there's none of that on the internet. That's it's illegal to do that. It's just $84. And sure enough, it's $84 now. And we got pretty good internet, really good download speeds. Upload's still kind of lame, but if I pay for it, I can get it. But I don't care. Even as a YouTuber, I'll wait. It's not that big of a deal. I don't need to pay that much money.
Well, for $84, though, you still have to pay extra for like the Paramount and
Well, yeah, but
and
I mean,
Max and all those
relatively
things.
speaking, it's not much. I mean, I think altogether we got quite a few streaming services. Altogether, I think we're paying like maybe $40 in streaming services.
Well, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, and we've got Paramount, we got HBO. They got the Disney bundle now.
What about
So it's Disney, Hulu, and Max, which is HBO, for $30.
what about local channels? Because that's
Get an antenna.
I know, but that's
And
my wife.
I tell you what's crazy. I know it's a music show, but it's information. It's relevant.
Right.
We have a excuse me. We have something called a Roku, and I wasn't real familiar with what that was. I did a little research, and it's kind of like a Fire Stick,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
but I like it better than a Fire Stick. It's a little cooler. It's a little remote. It's pretty simple. Press the button, TV comes on, the Roku comes on.
yeah.
And all these apps there that you can watch, you subscribe to and whatever. They also have something called live TV there.
Yeah.
It's all free.
Which is local channels, right?
It's not local,
No?
but it's a lot of stuff, but just a little different, but it's free. Like
It's
there's
their own
movies
programming.
all day,
Yeah.
but they got commercials. And most of the time, they're not even commercials there. It's just a little message that says, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
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 I was real upset about not having Motor Trend anymore because I like to watch Motor Trend, which is now going away. They shut down their production studio, and a lot of those guys out there making shows like Roadkill and stuff, they've lost their jobs. But anyway, I can stream all of that stuff on Max when I want to. But then I go on the live TV thing. Motor Trend Plus, which is just like Motor Trend, is free and streaming.
Go. Yeah. Yeah.
It's free. You don't got to pay for it. It's the same shows. And like I said, you get an antenna for your local news, but you know how nice it is to not see the news every day? It's
Well, it's not good on the news anymore, but
kind of nice.
likes the weather, and
Yeah.
by golly, she has to have her soap opera.
Yeah, get that on your computer. And you get all them. So you can get all the major networks, CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox. It's all free, but it's not local.
Now she gets a soap opera on Hulu, like if
Yeah.
yeah. So she
Like the next day, or
like later at night, 8 p.m. She can
okay.
They got them shows live.
Yeah.
I mean, you can watch all them live, like the feed from New York or whatever. You can do that, but it's not local. It's not
last thing
Bud
that was,
Tussle, Massachusetts, wherever you live.
what was that last thing that was supposed to be live? The boxes, and that was a mess, right?
Oh, the Tyson fight.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that was Netflix.
I know, but that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But it's like,
No.
yeah, but you could still get that live, and that was live, but they had network issues or whatever.
Well, there's
talking about the digital boxes they came out with like 10 years ago.
They couldn't
No,
handle the amount of
no,
streamers.
there's there's live stuff on these apps, and Netflix
Yeah.
tried it, and it didn't work out too good for them.
Right.
But I mean, there are live things that you can watch on Paramount and Peacock, and anyway, it's all there. But it's liberating to get rid of it. But I miss the monoculture part of it all. I miss, even like, I mean, that TV show Penguin. That was every Sunday at 9 o'clock, whatever it was. And I look forward to every Sunday at 8 o'clock to watch this show. And everybody watched it together. And I could come in here and talk to people. Hey, you see that show last night or whatever? Kind of the monoculture thing, which is going away. I don't have that anymore because I'm streaming. With something big like that anybody watches. Not that everybody watched it either, because I don't know any of you guys watched it.
You can watch it anytime when you're streaming.
I understand that, but we're not watching it together.
Okay.
Think about somebody who, well, you go to work every day. Imagine that we still had 3 channels and you came into work and you're in the lunchroom. Hey, man, did you see that, the Cosby Show last night? Oh, yeah.
And
Everybody saw
everybody
the Cosby
talked
Show
about it.
last night. Yeah. Now it's like, what are you talking about, dude? I don't know. I haven't streamed it yet.
Yeah.
We're not doing it together. It's the same thing with music. And that's why you're running into what you're running into. Everybody wants something different because they're all making their own playlists. I love a DJ, though. I love it when I don't have to think about what to play next, because for me, that's work. If I got to think about what to play, I was testing the computer. I was loading a bunch of tracks in, just auto mixing a bunch of tracks. Let the computer run for a long time. That was the hardest thing to do because I had to listen to them, just in case there was a problem. So I wanted to pick stuff I liked. That was even a chore. I would have preferred it if I just knew there was a DJ or a station out there or something that just played stuff that I generally liked, that I could just listen to, get surprised once in a while. Maybe something got it snuck in there that I wasn't thinking about. Maybe there was a track once in a while I didn't want to hear, but that's okay. I'm kind of forced to listen to it.
Right.
Something really interesting connecting this TV and music thing. When it comes to TV commercials, I heard something really interesting. The average viewer has to see a commercial 12 times before they even realize what the product is in the commercial. They may know Steve Harvey's in the commercial, but they don't know it's about Capital One. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, or the music in the background. Yeah.
Well, same thing with music.
Yeah.
If we are just flicking through, even in our promotional material, Brian's been getting promo only for years. I've been getting promo only for years.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I preview this stuff, I hear, the first 10 seconds of it, and if I don't like the groove, I skip it. Imagine if you couldn't do that.
I stopped previewing the promo only stuff and purposely because I didn't like what was coming out. But yet I'd add it to my database, and if somebody requested it, well, yeah, I have it.
Yeah, but 3 months before they have it, they want
Imagine being forced to just listen to the song.
Yeah.
There's one radio station in town, and that's what you listen to in the car, and you're driving to work. And a song comes on. I wish I could skip this, but you know what? I'm just going to let it play. There are songs that I had to hear multiple times before I dug them. Anybody else like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they grow on you. Yeah. Yeah. Right?
The last one that I can think of that I had to listen to repetitively, and this is in the wild, not as a DJ, because of course I'm playing songs that I grow to like. But I was in England one time at this hotel, really nice hotel. And they played music all through this place. And I don't know where it was getting piped in from, but it was relatively new stuff. This is probably back in 2012, maybe. So I heard the same songs, like on the hour, every hour on the hour. I'd hear the same songs over and over again, walking through the lobby, in the hallways, whatever. Because it's pretty loud. It's not like in America. They don't do that in America so much. They did it at this hotel, though. I kept hearing the song that was kind of driving me nuts, but I grew to like it. It was the song the Jay hates that I now love, which is Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it repetitively.
I wish he was here right now to hear you say that.
No, but I mean, that's how I got familiar with the song.
Yeah.
I like this. I really like this. But it took that repetitive listen for it to grow on me. Is a repetitive listen is that even a thing anymore? I mean, I guess in TikTok videos it could be. And this I think it was this Jim Barber was talking about TikTok too. Because Rick Beato said, well, kids hear music on TikTok. And he said, and TikTok music is wallpaper. It's not what they're doing. It's what just happens to be in the background. So it's not the same. It's just wallpaper.
That makes a lot of sense, though, right? If you actually think about that, that makes a lot of sense. It's wallpaper. Yeah.
I would encourage you guys, if you're interested at all, to listen to this guy. He had some really interesting ideas. He was talking about he had a way of explaining things that were just brilliant. You know, talking about where the music business is now, why it's there now, what's happened, what's changed, what people. It's just absolutely fascinating. And I'm the guy. You know, I love listening to artists talk about their craft, and that's what this guy was doing as a music business person. It's just fascinating. I'm sorry.
And what I just got out of that, Brian, was music used to be oil-based paint, right? It was just the way it was, and everybody, and the way you just said it, well, the way he said it that you described,
Yeah.
wallpaper now.
Yeah.
It's two different worlds, and I miss the old world personally. I don't like a lot of today's stuff. I'm sorry, that's just me.
When everybody experiences things as a group, and when he talks about this monoculture thing, he's talking about global or at least country or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm even thinking of it in terms of in an establishment. We're all in the same room right now. We're going to be in the same room together, whether it be a bar gig or a wedding reception, for the next few hours. And everything that happens in that room, we're going to experience together. There are things that happen when you experience things with others that just doesn't happen when you experience it by yourself. I've made jokes in here to Damon and some of you about some of the songs that I really like from back in my heavy club days.
Yeah.
And I was just telling Damon the other night, you know, every time I hear the song, it reminds me of cute girls dancing around with big shoes on. Because that's my association with it, you know, because I experienced it. I was in the same room with those cute girls when I heard that song. And now that's what I associate the song with. And it makes it special, you know? It means something. It reminds me of something.
Which is what you want, I think.
I think that's a beautiful way to experience art.
Yeah.
I mean, it's art ultimately. You know, you go to art galleries and you experience art with others who are looking at this art, you know?
Yep.
We're seeing this, you know, and if you're just looking on your computer by yourself or on your phone by yourself, you're not experiencing it with anybody. Not really. I mean, somebody else may have seen it, but you don't know who they are. You've got nobody to discuss it with.
Right. Right.
Whereas if you're walking down the street and you see a graffiti mural, you know, everybody around you seeing it too. Hey, what do you think of that? You know, talk about it. It reminded me of playing music for groups of people. You know, really just being the programmer, being the DJ, even if it's in a small room with a few people, you are experiencing it together and how important that is. I value that, you know?
Even if you were not all together in the same room, we still experienced it together apart because we're all focused on that. Is that basically is that?
Yeah, it was that way. It's and it's that way with a lot of us, with a lot of songs that we do. We can come in here and we can talk about it.
Yep. Because you were getting a little too deep, Brian. I had to make sure
No.
You know, I'm being serious because this really is a great conversation, you know? And I just want to make sure everybody watching grasped what you were trying to get at.
I like to know how the sausage is made. You know, I don't need to, it is this way. Yeah, but let's break it down. Brian.
You're talking about listening to the same songs like over and over till you really connected with the song.
Yeah.
Like I know you listen to BPM on Sirius.
Yeah.
I tend to listen to it a little differently for like when I play in a club, it's different than what like playing at the safe house to me.
Sure.
I'm playing boom, 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 boom all night.
Yeah.
So at Safe House, I know you're going to play that stuff, but it's not all night long like that.
No, I'll do sets of it.
Yeah. So the BPM, I'm listening for songs that might eventually become something I'll play at the club.
Sure.
Most of the stuff there on BPM, I love it, but I won't play it.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
unless like I was just looking at my Shazam list on my phone. I Shazam a song, then I listen to it later on, and it's like most of the stuff I love hearing it, but it will never go over in the club.
So we used to call it cherry picking.
Yeah.
When you're digging through, somebody's music crate, you just pulled their best songs out. I'm gonna borrow these records. We just cherry picked that guy's crate. We took the best of the best out of that crate.
Brian K brought up a great point. I love that word he just said. It's like I may listen to it, but will I play it while I'm live? Probably not.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's another whole side of the story. That
Especially like BPM, the majority of BPM music is not remixes of popular songs. They're exclusively like a brand new track.
Used to be remixes of pop. A lot of that. It's a little different now.
It's mostly like a highly EDM, like
but
one,
even
like a single song. It's not a.
But even
remix.
at that, I mean, when you download the promo only singles, the club singles,
yeah,
you get a half a dozen different versions of the song by different producers.
Yeah,
right.
And what I like about BPM is they usually pick the best one. They're usually really good at saying, "Oh yeah, that one."
Yeah,
it's very seldom do they miss. Excuse me. Very seldom do they miss on that. They usually always hit it pretty good.
Yeah, I like hearing like remixes of songs, but there you don't get too much of it.
I love a remix as much as the next guy, but it needs to fit into what I'm doing, depending on the remix.
I've actually been listening to more of Diplo's Revolution for the last couple of years than BPM.
Yeah, Diplo's does play more.
Mm-hmm.
Except this weekend it was all trance. It was a trance weekend.
Oh man, I missed that one. Damn.
Yeah. Oh, since Wednesday it was a trance. 24 hours a day is of trance music.
I'm not heavy on trance, but I do like some trance though.
It's like that Wookiee Sunshine.
Yeah.
That's a remix that I will play.
Right.
Because everybody knows it. It don't go into the whole song, but it's just enough for them to know, God, I love this.
That's what I heard on Diplo. Yeah, that's where I got that.
Right.
Yeah.
It was great. Play it all the time, Brian.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
When they did, it was Sunshine and what was the other one? They did another one.
The Wookiee?
Yeah.
Well, he did To Be Real, and then he did Edge of 17.
Yeah, the Edge of 17 I used.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sunshine and Edge of 17.
Yeah, Sunshine's just awesome. That's a great track that I think any of us could probably use.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody in the room to know what the hell you're doing,
Yeah. Yeah.
And they all get into it like, and there's another remix I've been doing, Respect, Aretha.
Yeah.
And don't ask me what it is because it ain't in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts off with that kind of a funky beat.
Is it
Aretha's
Aretha's remix or a remix of the song by somebody else?
Somebody that did it.
Yeah, there was a version that came out like 5 years ago. There's a video for it with Elton John's even in the video.
Oh wow,
the one I'm using, but
it was featured in the some Super Bowl ad actually.
I'm thinking,
like a house version of Respect, and it's actually Aretha singing, and
okay.
Oh, it's great, and I love it.
Well, when you play that kind of stuff now, people tend to come up to you and say, "What is that?
Yeah,
what is that?" I like that.
Don't know. Yeah.
I was just thinking that never used to happen. Everybody knew what was being played, and the one the sticks in my head because it was an event It's the last time I remember I can think of, it was like a major music event in my world. And that was when Madonna dropped Justify My Love.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a world premiere video and they were talking about it and talking about it. And everybody had to be wherever they were, you know, and MTV to see the world premiere of the scandalous ass video.
8 o'clock on
Yeah, whatever it was.
MTV, whatever day it
On
was
Friday or whatever.
You know,
And I remember going to a club on Sunday. And DJ's name was Tim. I'm like, Tim, you got that joint? He's like, no, I don't got that yet. It's too new. I don't got that.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, at midnight, he dropped it, you know, with the video. He was just messing with us. But everybody just got excited because they just saw that world premiere and they saw the video, which MTV didn't want to play anymore because it was too risque.
They played it one time. It was, instantly banned.
So we got to see the video again in the club, and that was an event for all of us. We were all excited to see that, you know, because he dropped it at like 12:30 or whatever it was. He was holding it back, and he was just messing with it. Of course he had. But and that was cool stuff, man. We were all excited. We were all happy to see it, and we were all glued to it, checking it out. That was neat. But I can't remember an instance where something like that happened again. Where we all experienced something at the same time. I don't know. I miss that. But again, being a DJ, it's nice to at least do it to a small group. And
I think of one thing, Brian, maybe. The video of Thriller, Michael Jackson.
that was before that. That was
Right. But still, that was something like you had to see it or you didn't, you know? And it was like a half-hour video, right? Am I wrong?
yeah, it was like a little movie.
I think MTV knew it was going to be a banger, if you want to say. Like that's why they promoted it so heavily. Every song they did the world premiere of some video.
Well, it was first of all, it was Michael Jackson, but then on top of it, you had who was that? Who was the director, producer?
John Landis.
John Landis. I mean, so you had the biggest pop star and the biggest Hollywood director. I mean,
Well, he was the big horror movie director.
Yeah.
He was the American Werewolf in London guy.
right? That's what I'm saying. So you had one of the biggest.
But they never say like world premiere of the latest Tom Petty song. It was never
No.
like that. They never promoted that.
Well, Tom Petty didn't have John Landis.
Well, I tell you what, I think it's funny you guys mentioned Michael Jackson because I was out shopping on Cyber Monday, which was yesterday. It doesn't feel like yesterday, but it was.
You
And everywhere I went, they were playing a lot of Michael Jackson. I don't know why. I went to Best Buy, and it was like Michael Jackson's greatest hits.
That is strange. Yeah.
I got on the car and I had the groove on, and I heard, you know, Off the Wall or something.
Yeah.
I was in the bookstore. I heard some Michael Jackson. I was in the grocery store. I heard some Michael Jackson. It was Michael Jackson all day. It was the weirdest thing. It's like, what happened? He didn't die a year ago.
Was
did
it his
he?
birthday or something? I don't know.
I don't know. But everybody was playing Michael Jackson yesterday. It was the weirdest thing. I didn't even Google to see why. But no, about Thriller. There's a new documentary on Max right now. It's a Yacht Rock documentary.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of them that are on BBC. They're pretty good. This one's really good. And the Michael Jackson connection to Yacht Rock is that Toto, the band Toto, they were the session musicians on that album. And Human Nature, that song was written by Steve Porcaro. And it's almost exactly like the demo, except Michael sings on it and they cleaned it up a little bit. But that's a Toto song, Human Nature. But what was interesting is that somebody broke it down a little bit. Somebody broke down Michael Jackson Thriller in a way that I'd never heard him do it. And I got to thinking, wow, they're right. The reason Thriller was so interesting is because every song on the album appealed to a different group of people.
Yeah.
I thought, what? Like, oh, wait, it did. It totally did. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
What was the rocker track? Beat It.
Beat it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was
You know, what was the
that?
dance? What was the big dance track?
That was Billie Jean.
Want to Be Starting Something was the big
Oh
dance
yeah.
track.
Oh, that's right. When did we start something?
Yeah, that was the big dance track. You know, and then you think about, now, I think the only thing they didn't really do was country on that album when I'm thinking about it.
The country that you're gonna get was "The Girl Is Mine," I think, and that wasn't even.
You're right. You're right. That kind of, yeah.
Fit into that, I think. But
There was something for everybody on that, and God, that is interesting.
yeah,
That is so interesting.
huge. I had a.
Well,
My
well,
grandfather
well,
said,
what you said about the rocker track, Slash was the guitar player.
Yep.
No,
Was
that was
that-
Eddie
or
Van
sorry.
Halen. Slash was
Oh,
on
so Van Halen-
Black or White.
Okay, that's what it was. That's
Yeah,
right.
off the Dangerous album. Yeah.
That's right.
No, that was Eddie Van Halen, who was
Eddie Van Halen,
uncredited
that's
on
right.
that.
Okay, that's what it was.
He didn't even tell his bandmates that he did that. He just did it. Do it. But yeah, it was just funny. Everywhere I went, man, I heard Michael Jackson.
"That is just weird." I don't know.
I thought it was weird too, but it was.
Birthday?
I got to Google it to see because I didn't even bother. But
Like, when is his birthday? Maybe it was. Who knows? But
could have been. I don't know. I know he was born in '58. That's all I know.
like, that's the last time I can remember when everybody seen it, even though you weren't with them. You know, like the premiere of that Thriller video. I don't care where you were. You could be downtown walking, and they had a TV in a window, and you'd stop and watch. You know?
Yeah.
Right? You know. But
I have to confess that, and I don't think I've ever said this publicly. I never liked the song.
what, Thriller?
No.
I like the video more than the song.
Was
That was a video driven. That's what made the song big, was the video.
Yeah. But I enjoyed watching the video. I didn't really care for the song, you know.
Okay, so I'm not alone.
No.
It is not the strongest song on that album. I can think of several songs on that album I like a lot more than that one.
No, but a DJ friend of mine, when that video came out, we used like the instrumental of Thriller to make it one long dance, half-hour dance video.
oh, geez.
Yeah.
So like it never cut. The music never cut, but you can still hear and see what was going on. And that was interesting. That was fun for us. We just did it because we wanted to, you know. And now we can use it as a video, a dance video, where we work. Back then, dance videos were popular. Today, not so much. But, you know.
When that hit, I remember talk about monoculture. When I was 13 years old, my first real job before the skating rink was at a horse farm. I worked at a horse farm for a month because I lived out in the country, like in the middle of nowhere. I couldn't go get a job, you know, at the drugstore. I had to go where I could ride my bike to, and I could ride my bike to the horse farm. I worked there for a month, didn't get paid much, cleaning out stalls and all that stuff. I really wasn't into horses. All they did was blast country music out of that barn, you know, and it was not my jam. I did not dig it. I didn't dig the people there. I didn't dig anything about it. But that's when Thriller hit. And that farm, the farm, where they're blasting the country music in the barn, and if you turn the station, they yell at you. You know, they had the Thriller video on Laserdisc. And it just came out, and we all went into the big house. You know, you're not supposed to go into. You're supposed to be in the tack room.
The big house? Not
That big house. The ranch.
I know.
Not the tack room. We got invited into the house. We wiped our shoes, went into the ranch owner's house, and watched that Thriller video on Laserdisc.
Those poor horses.
Yeah. So the only time I was ever in that house. Nobody was allowed in the house. You stayed in the tack room.
No, but today, every Halloween, you're doing Ghostbusters, Thriller. You know, it has its legend to it. But anyway,
Hold on, Eric.
Yes, sir.
And Brian, for the younger viewers who are watching, who may be watching this at some point, explain to them what a laser disc is, because they probably never heard of it.
Picture a record that looks like a CD and it's got a movie on it.
It's on a record.
It was a DVD, but the size of a record.
Yeah,
Just a
it was
silver record.
thick. Yeah,
It was
Yeah.
really thicker than a CD or a DVD.
and they had some weight to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had some weight to them.
Yeah.
And then you have to flip it over.
It was like a
Depending on what was,
78.
how big it was. The
Yeah,
movie you're watching, you had to actually flip it over.
It's still
I
Pioneer laser disc.
I had a Pioneer Laserdisc player that automatically flipped from A to B.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got the whole set of
Still have it
of
in storage.
series of karaoke, and that was a whole different. You know, see, Brian K knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never did that. I never played them on Laserdisc, but the one club that used to do them on Laserdisc.
Oh, that was big. Pioneer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so happy when they get rid of that whole laser thing. You know, because it made my load lighter. You know, those Pioneer discs were heavy, like Brian was saying. They weren't like an album, you know, or a CD. They had some weight.
They were like a 78.
I got a couple laser discs back here in the rack. I got Michael Jackson history, and I got Prince the Hits
Oh, nice.
collection back here on Laserdisc. So I got a couple. Got a bunch of really cool movies on Laserdisc in storage that I just keep for prosperity's sake. But yeah,
Wonderful. And then
It
Brian,
might come back in style again. Like the
can you hear a
like,
difference between the laser disc or an album?
oh, an album sounds much better than a Laserdisc. Sounds really good. I mean, if you can get over the buzzing of the machine, it sounds really good.
Yeah.
Laser disc was probably equal to a compact disc, correct? Like later in the years.
Yeah, yeah. It was just this. I mean, digital stuff like that. Yeah.
But it's
Good stuff.
laser disc came way before compact disc.
yeah.
But I think they were like sound quality. Am I wrong?
Well, it's digital.
Yeah. Bless you, Brian. You sound like me today.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, I got a little of that on myself, but
Oh, it's just crazier. It's cold and dry of all things, which is a really weird combination. But we're all experiencing it as a monoculture here in Milwaukee.
see, we don't even need cable TV to experience that.
We don't need cable TV to experience.
Experience the sneezing and the
Yeah, it's like the minute there's some moisture in the air, everybody runs for something to blow their nose with. Because finally it starts running. Everybody's complaining about their ears popping and all this because they're all dry. You could drink a gallon of water every hour and you're still dry. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Because, well, you know, Damon, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much where he lives. But well, we can put a fork in it. I just thought it'd be an interesting topic. I don't even know what you call this show. We'll let AI name this because AI now transcribes all of our shows.
Yeah,
So they'll figure out what our show's about because I don't even know.
What the heck
Sponsor.
is this?
Yeah, well, I was going to bring that up. Yeah, we do have sponsors here. DJ Event Planner is our major sponsor. You can learn all about DJ Event Planner in the description of this video. Just click on the link. We have other sponsors you can check out down there as well. So thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you, Brian.
Yes.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you for your. I was late tonight. I'm just going to
You're
fess
fine.
up there, but I was late tonight. Everybody waited for me.
Only
Thank-
15 minutes, but that was great. Yeah.
A lot of the crew that normally comes in here, they are at the Harvest of Sound show this week. So we'll catch up with them next week. Next time you watch this, whenever it happens to be, you will see the rest of the crew will be back with us. So,
If they play it in order.
yeah, if you play it in order. Which, if you do, what's wrong with you?
Right.
No, but I mean, the next show might not air.
No,
after this one.
who knows? Or this one may never see the light of day. We have no idea.
That's true.
We don't know. But at any rate, thanks